Welcome to Massius Media, sponsored by me, myself, and I for now. It'll probably be for a little while. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And today I would love to talk about wealth, black wealth to be specific. I would love to talk about black billionaires. Now, there are a lot of them. Back in the day, I remember a time when there was only one or two. The first one was Robert L. Johnson. Well, the first official one was Robert L. Johnson, the guy that founded BET, and you know, and you could throw his wife in there, Sheila Johnson, and and then after that came Oprah, and it took a while for the rest of the world to like catch up, but now we have a good amount of black billionaires that I'm very proud of. Now, I'm not going to name any of the African ones except for the one that matters. The richest black man in the world is Aliko Dagante, as always, every year. He's been the richest black man for the past, I don't know, like 10 years, if not 10 years, close to it. And let me read this out to you. If you don't know who he is, I'll post a picture of him up on the screen. The founder and CEO of the Gante Group began the painful process of building Africa's largest oil and gas refinery in 2013. After 11 years, 23 billion in investment, and innumerable headaches, the Gante refinery finally began operating in early 2024, helping boost the Gante's fortune by 10.5 billion since last year. He is currently worth 23.9 billion dollars. Billion, let's say 24 billion, $24 billion, which is amazing. Now, that sounds absolutely great, and it is. It's just that the richest white people are all like over 100 billion. So we still have a ways to go. I'm gonna name. I'm only gonna really spend time on the American ones and one very special one that I am extra proud of. Number two is David Stewart. David Stewart is an American, worth $11.4 billion, the richest Black American co founded Worldwide Technology, which provides IT solutions to customers like Citi and Verizon in 1990. He still serves as chairman of the private company, which now has nearly 10,000 employees and generates 20 billion in annual revenue. Very proud of you, David Stewart. By the way, the reference is Forbes, the most trusted reference when it comes to wealth and net worth and salaries, etc. Number three is Robert F. Smith, known for like going to a graduation speech and like paying everybody's bills a couple of years back. But he is the third richest black man in the world and the second richest in America, with a net worth of 10.8 billion. Smith founded $100 billion um, assets under management Vista Equity Partners, the largest black-owned private equity firm in the United States in 2000. He still runs the firm, which has more than 700 employees and focuses exclusively on investing in software companies. Absolutely amazing. I'm very proud of you. Below the 10 billion mark, another American, Alexander Karp. By the way, he doesn't look very black, but black, light skin black. 8.4 billion. Karp is the co-founder and CEO of Plantier Technologies, a data mining company whose customers include the FBI, the Department of Defense, and other government agencies. Plantier went public in 2020 and now has a market capitalization of nearly $200 billion. Very proud of you, Mr. Karp. I hope to be on this list one day. Um, anyway, next, number five, Mike Adenuga. He is African, Nigerian, to be exact. 6.8 billion from telecom. Um, Again, non-Americans, I'm not going to spend too much time on. So let's move forward. Number 6 is a gentleman. I'm sorry if I messed this name up. By the name of Abdul Samad Rabu, or Rabio Rabu, I'm guessing, with a net worth of 5.1 billion. His source of wealth is cement and sugar, and his citizenship is Nigeria as well. By the way, Mike Adenuga, the last guy, his wealth came from telecom and oil. All right. Next on the list, number 7, is Michael Jeffrey Jordan, with an estimated net worth of 3.5 billion, with his wealth coming from the Charlotte Hornets ownership, and a lot of endorsements, like a lot of endorsements. And of course, he's American. Often considered the greatest basketball player of all time, although I don't consider him the greatest basketball player of all time. LeBron James is, in my opinion. Um, this is a King James home. Jordan won 6 NBA titles with the Chicago Bulls. His salary during his career totaled to 90 million, but he has earned more than 2.4 billion dollars pre-tax from such corporate partners as Nike, Hanes, and Gatorade. In 2023, Jordan sold his majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets in a deal that valued the NBA franchise at 3 billion dollars. Today, he is one of just 4 Black Americans on the Forbes 400 ranking of the country's richest people. Now, I actually want to spend a little bit of time on this one, because here's the deal. Back in the day, the Charlotte Bobcats, which is what they were known at the time, was bleeding money, and they were owned by the first Black billionaire, Robert L. Johnson, Bob Johnson. And he bought it, I think, for like 300 million. And it was just bleeding money. This was back in the days, a time before the NBA lockout, and certain endorsement deals came about that ended up skyrocketing the valuations and sales of the NBA franchises. So he sold um, his um, his franchise, the Charlotte Bobcats, at a loss to Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan initially bought a stake for 70 million and then increased the stake. And now that same stake is worth billions of dollars. He basically, if Robert L. Johnson had held onto it a little longer, yeah, I mean, he would have still been, um, yeah, because Robert L. Johnson ended up going through a divorce where his wife, Sheila Johnson, took half, and she is now a billionaire, but he is no longer a billionaire. But that is a little nugget that I am proud to share with you. Number 8 on the list is Patrice Motsepe. He is tied with another individual, Oprah Winfrey. But first, Patrice Motsepe is worth $3 billion from mining, and his place of origin is South Africa. We're going to go past that because, again, we're only spending time on American billionaires. Oprah Winfrey worth $3 billion from TV shows and the production of TV shows, the hosting of TV shows, and of course, her channel, the O Network. Of course, American born. Her hit talk show ran for 25 years until 2011, and she reinvested the profits from the program and films such as The Color Purple and Selma into a media and business empire. In 2011, she launched the cable channel OWN and sold most of her stock to Warner Brothers Discovery in 2020. By the way, a little nugget on that is when she first started the channel, that shit was bleeding money. So don't think that success happens overnight. It was bleeding money. And really, it wasn't until, because she really wanted to make it as educational as possible, as, heartwarming and like motivational as possible, the motherfuckers don't want to watch that shit. Let's just be honest. Like, too much of that is kind of boring. So she started doing interviews with like Miley Cyrus and I believe it was Britney Spears and all that, and started adding reality TV shows. Tyler Perry joined the Tyler Perry's on this list too. He joined and started creating content, and we all know what Tyler Perry content are like. And now it's a big success, profitable. Number 10, one of the two people that I personally look up to, Jay-Z, with an estimated net worth of 2.5 billion. His source of wealth is music, diversified, but mostly in music. American born. And let's read this out. One of the greatest hip hop musicians of all time. I believe the greatest rapper of all time. Like 30 something Grammys. Jay-Z has won, well, sorry, 25. Jay-Z has won 25 Grammys and launched multiple businesses, including the fashion brand Rocawear, which sold for $204 million in 2007, and alcohol lines like Douce and Armand de, I don't know how they say that, Armand de Brignang, Brignang. Don't know how they say that. That's his liquor brand. In 2019, he became hip hop's first billionaire. Awesomeness. He also had Ace of Spades. He had the music streaming service. He had a whole host of stuff. He has Rock Nation. Yeah, like that boy is well diversified. Next, number 11 is a gentleman by the name of Adebayo Ogunlesi, with a net worth of 2.2 billion from private equity. He is an American, so we're going to read him out. Never heard of him though. A native of Nigeria and now a U.S. citizen, Ogunlesi is the founding partner, chairman, and CEO of New York-based private equity firm Global Infrastructure Partners, GIP. In October, GIP was acquired by BlackRock. Anyone that knows anything about BlackRock, that is like the most powerful company in the world. They basically own a piece of the world for 12.5 billion in cash and shares. Awesomeness. Number 12 is tied between Magic Johnson and Femi Otedola. He even has Dola in his name. All right, Magic Johnson, with an estimated net worth of 1.5 billion, made his money from basketball and diversified investments. American citizen, of course. Following his retirement from the NBA in 1996, Johnson began investing, opening movie theaters. We all remember the Magic Johnson theaters and Starbucks franchises, often in black communities. The majority of his fortune comes from a 60% ownership stake in life insurance company Equitrust, which has grown from 16 billion in assets under management to 27 billion since he took over in 2015. Johnson also owns small equity stakes in 4 sports teams, including the NFL, Washington Commanders, and the reigning World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm not a big fan of, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Um, Definitely a fan of Magic, not a fan of the Dodgers. All right. Femi Otedola, with an estimated net worth of 1.5 billion, made his money from energy and utilities, and his citizenship is Nigeria. We're gonna go past that because he is not an American. Number 14 is also tied between a gentleman by the name of Tope Owotona, with a net worth of 1.4 billion from software, and he is American. So we're going to read him out. Born in Lagos, a lot of Nigerians. Born in Lagos, Nigeria, Owotona moved to Atlanta when he was 15 and studied computer science at the University of Georgia before switching majors to business and management information. In 2013, he founded Calendly, a scheduling software startup, which private investors valued at $3 billion in 2021. Congratulations, that's awesome. And yeah, Nigerians are um, very like, whew, very ambitious. A lot of the names on this list will be Nigerian, so yeah, um, get ready for that. Um, oh, and by the way, from last I read, Nigerians are the most educated Black demographic in the world, and in America also. If you want to break it down by race, or well, not by race, by nationality of Blacks, yes, they are the most educated. But Africans tend to be the most educated. West Indians are behind that, and then African Americans a lot of times are behind that. All right, Tyler Perry tied at number 14 with an estimated net worth of 1.4 billion, source of wealth in movies and television. Um, Tyler Perry, who has built a platform as the second highest paid TV showrunner, achieved billionaire status in 2020. He is best known for his Medea movie franchise, which I'm not a huge fan of, by the way, because of certain stereotypical stuff that he creates in his movies and shows. But anyway, which has grossed more than $660 million. He also owns a quarter of the streaming platform BET Plus and a 330-acre studio in Atlanta, which I'm very proud of him for, by the way. Like, good guy. Good guy. I don't like a lot of his content, but I love his ambition, and I love his success. Um, Also tied at number 14, Tiger Woods, who I am not a fan of because Tiger is half black, half Asian, claims neither, and never dated one. He only dates white girls, so I'm biased. Anyway, net worth of 1.4 billion from golf. Um, Over the course of his golf career, Woods has won 15 major championships, second only to Jack Nicklaus, 82 PGA Tour tournaments, tied for first with Sam Snead, and has won more prize money, $122 million, than any player in PGA history. However, the majority of Woods' earnings have come from his lucrative brand deals, most famously Nike. We're going to leave it there because not a huge fan of his. I don't like his politics. I don't like very much about him. But when he was younger, like I was proud to say, wow, a black person was dominating golf, but he didn't even claim it for himself. So who am I to? Anyway, let's move forward. And tied again at number 14, it's like a four-way tie. Rihanna, net worth 1.4 billion from music and cosmetics, and her citizenship is Barbados. Born Robin Fenty in Barbados, Rihanna is her middle name. She became a billionaire thanks to her cosmetics company Fenty Beauty, which she co-owns with the French luxury conglomerate LVMH, which stands for Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. Um, Number 18, which is also tied with a couple motherfuckers. Mohammed Ibrahim, I've heard of him before. Worth an estimated 1.3 billion, if made from communications. He is a UK citizen. Ibrahim, well, no, you know what? Let's skip him. He's not American. Next, LeBron James. LeBron James. LeBron James. LeBron James is worth an estimated $1.3 billion from basketball. In 2022, James became the first active basketball player to become a billionaire, having earned more than 900 million pre-tax from endorsements and business ventures. James is a 21-time NBA All-Star, four-time NBA champion, and four-time NBA MVP. That is my GOAT. Next, number 20, um, a guy by the name of Strive. I'm guessing it's Strive Masiyawa. Net worth of 1.2 billion from telecom and his place of birth is Zimbabwe. So we're going to skip that. Number 21, Michael Lee Chin, the Jamaican Canadian, um, and he literally looks Jamaican Canadian. Like, well, he looks Chinese, Jamaican, and he citizenship is Canadian. Well, he is half Chinese, half Jamaican, born in Canada. Let's say that. All right, 1.1 billion. Source of net worth is mutual funds. Leachin made his money investing in financial institutions, including the National Commercial Bank, Jamaica, and AIC Limited. He sold AIC to Canadian Financial Services Group, Manulife, in 2009 for an undisclosed price, but still owns 60% of National Commercial Bank Jamaica, which accounts for nearly half his fortune. Number 21. This might be one of the longest episodes I've ever done, but it's a really exciting episode of mine because I am so big on Black wealth, Black success, and Black excellence. So you're going to have to put up with me for a few more minutes. Number 21, tied with someone else, a gentleman by the name of Harriet Tabuteau. And the reason I'm excited to talk about this guy is not because he's an American citizen and not because he's worth 1.1 billion, not because he made it from healthcare, but because he is Haitian. A newcomer to this year's list, Tabuteau founded Axome Therapeutics in 2012 with the goal of developing life-changing treatments for the millions of patients living with brain disorders. He owned 15% of Axome, which he took public in 2015. Prior to founding the company, Tabuteau worked in healthcare finance, including as a partner at hedge fund HealthCo SAC Capital. Super proud of my Haitian American brother, Harriet Tabuteau. Super proud of him. All right. Next, Sheila Johnson. This is the wife or the ex-wife of Robert L. Johnson. By the way, how that came to be is Robert L. Johnson, they say, had a great idea to create a Black version of MTV back in the day. But he didn't have the funding. So his wife gave him the first seed capital to start what would later be called BET. And then from that, he was able to acquire more funding and make it pretty successful before he sold it to Viacom, Rumner Redstone, I believe, many years back. And that made him the first Black billionaire. And then they got a divorce and she took half. But she's one of those people that probably deserve half because it was her capital that started the company in the first place. So, yeah. Anyway, Sheila Johnson, another newcomer to this year's list. Johnson co-founded cable network BT with her then husband, Robert Johnson, in 1979 and sold it to Viacom for $3 billion in 2001. Now she's the founder of hospitality firm The Salamander Collection, which operates hotels and resorts in the Washington, D.C., Charleston, and Jamaica, among other destinations. Oh, wait. Let me read that over. Um, Now she's the founder of hospitality firm The Salamander Collection, which operates hotels and resorts in Washington, D.C., not Washington, D.C., in Washington, D.C., Charleston, and Jamaica, among other destinations. Through her investment in Monumental Sports and Entertainment, she also owns stakes in the WNBA's Washington Mystics and the NBA's Washington Wizards and the NHL's Washington Capitals. That rounds out the list. Like, I am super duper 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 proud of all these amazing Black billionaires. 23 Black billionaires together combining at $96 billion. capitalization, like that's just a sense of pride. And I hope to be there one day with your help. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, that's it. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions or you want to make a comment or any suggestions for any show topics, please let me know. Either comment on the actual post, or you can leave a comment in the Cash App if you want to support. It should be right there. Let's get the subs from 50 something to 100 as soon as possible. Bye.